Hey ladies, this is Mocha Mommy here bringing you another video. And in this video, it was funny because the last, I think, three games I've watched here at the house. Like we were supposed to go out last night to meet with some friends, but me and my daughter had a workout earlier and I just didn't feel like going out after that. But the last three playoff games we've watched here at the house. So it was funny because we're all watching the games and then we're talking back and forth to the TV. And my kids and my husband were like, "Dang, you petty, you petty." And so I just decided to just talk about some of the just things that they think that they felt I was being petty. But also I'm gonna take content creator True Mystique. She had challenged all of us to on today, if I do something for 30 minutes that brings us a lot of joy. So baseball does bring me a lot of joy. So I just decided to kind of put the interaction up on YouTube, just to show people like what's been going on in the house and just to have a conversation. And it may seem petty because my kids say I sound petty, but I just figured we did have a lot of fun watching the game together. So it was a lot of fun. So last night, of course, was game 3 of the National League series between the Phillies, right, and the San Diego Padres. So the reality is Phillies was the team who was all season a day late, a dollar short, with mismatched socks and their shirt on backwards. Like they were awful for most of the season, fired their manager, but then ended up making the playoffs by the skin of their teeth. And then here they are, could possibly be heading to the World Series. So it just goes to show you to not give up. Like if anything, this is one of the ultimate Cinderella stories of the season. And, I was on a sports blog and they were saying, how come the Major League Baseball playoffs is looking like March Madness with all these Cinderella stories? And that's definitely one of them, the Phillies and their Cinderella story. So one thing I've said about the Phillies, this might be seen petty, but I feel like this is an ugly team. I feel like there's a lot of good-looking baseball players in Major League Baseball, but none of them are on the San Diego Padres. I feel like it was funny because they were showing a picture of their bullpen last night, and the guys were sitting behind the bullpen, they're starting pitchers, and I was like, that looked like the San Diego Zoo. Because I'm telling you, these are some funny looking dudes. They can play some ball though. Give them credit. They definitely have been doing. I mean, they took my Mets out of it, and they took the Dodgers out of it. But that's a good team. I mean, they could possibly win it all, but they ain't winning no beauty pageants. I'll tell you that right there. But here's one of them. This is Trent Grisham. He came out the woodwork. I mean, this guy, good center fielder, excellent on defense, excellent on offense. I mean, this dude, he showed it. And I mean, he has a very interesting story too. He was raised by a single mom. His last name was Clark when he got drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers, but he decided to change his name to Grisham because his grandfather, his maternal grandfather, and his maternal great grandfather were the men who raised him, and he felt that their legacy should be on the back of their jersey. And I just thought that was a very interesting story. So, yeah, it was a very interesting story. But yeah, really good. Been showing up this season. Love him. Love. Awesome. Even though I'm not rooting for that team, I think he's a player that I have a lot of respect for. And Juan Soto, listen, Padres fans, get your money back. Get your money back for Juan Soto. Like, what? Offense, he been a mess. Defense, he been a mess. Didn't y'all pay that dude close to $300 million? I think y'all should get your money back. Yeah. Y'all should get your money back. I think y'all should get your money back. Padres fans. So yeah, I don't know. But here's some of the stuff too my family said. I'm typing in the chat here because the Dodgers is out of it, bro. Yeah, but I am rooting for the Phillies. Listen, I like JT Realmuto, man, not just because he's handsome, but he's a very good player. He's super athletic. He's a really good player. Like, I mean, he's not the best hitting catcher because typically catchers are good hitters because they see so many pitches coming at them. They usually are very good hitters. his hitting's been off, but his defense has been on point. Like this dude, I mean, and they switch pitchers like crazy, and he has been consistent behind that plate. Like, give it to JT. And this is one thing I'll say about JT. If they were to ever make a Major League Baseball Ken doll, I think it would look like JT because JT is handsome. JT is a very handsome man, and I'll give it to this. Quite a few of the Phillies are handsome. Like Nick Castellanos, he's handsome. Come on, Nick at night. Nick and Nick playing too. Nick is doing very well with as far as RBIs. Nick is doing very well. I also think Bryce Harper is handsome. He's like the textbook perfect baseball player. Like his stance, his fielding, his batting average, the way he runs bases. I think this is like the kid in Little League who you knew was special. Like, you know what I mean? Like he just kind of came up like just being ultimately perfect. Married his high school sweetheart too. How can you hate that? I think he's handsome, and I like the way he plays. I do. But my favorite Philly is Kyle Schwarber. I love Kyle. I mean, here's the reality, because when Phillies was in the absolute last place, this guy was still hitting home runs. I think he was second in the National League, first or second in the National League for home runs, even though his team was last. I mean, this is the type of guy I wish had a podcast, because he always has a great attitude. He's a great person in the locker room and in the clubhouse. He just is very consistent. Whether the team is losing or winning, he consistently shows up. He consistently proves himself to be just a good teammate, a good player. And I have a lot of respect for Kyle Schwarber as a player and just as a man. So I think that he has a great work ethic. And I mean, from when he was with Boston, from when he was with Chicago, I love Kyle Schwarber. Married his high school sweetheart as well. Real sweet. And, you know, there's a lot of players who married their high school sweetheart. Like Mike Trout married his high school sweetheart. Bryce Harper, who I just showed you, married his high school sweetheart. Mookie Betts married his middle school sweetheart. They've been together since they were 12. And CC Sabathia, he married his high school sweetheart. But it's very interesting, though, how these guys, they're richer than most basketball players. Let's be real. Mookie Betts made like $287 million just from the Dodgers alone. That doesn't even include what he got paid when he was in Boston and won a World Series and the endorsements. Right. CC Sabathia, same thing, over almost $300 million just for the Yankees. That don't include what he made in Cleveland, don't include what he made in Milwaukee, doesn't include what he made from endorsements. You know, again, wealthier than most basketball players, but have a better like ethical understanding of family and legacy. Because I mean, look at CC Sabathia. Now that he's retired, I mean, he's doing a lot in his native hometown of Oakland, you know, to get kids into sports and to keep them out of trouble and giving back to the community. But the manosphere never holds guys like this up, because I think it's because, honestly, that's not what they aspire to be. Like, dead serious, because I really feel that we'd be seeing more like, well, what about Mookie Betts? What about CC Sabathia? You always want to put us in the trash and, you know, put us in the trash and pass the bag with these players who are baby daddies. But, you know, these guys are not that, but you never really see them laud these type of men, right? That got married to their high school sweethearts, that give back to the community, that support other players, especially a lot of other Black African-American players that support the Negro Leagues and trying to hold that legacy. You never really see that from them. But yet, you know, I just feel like they would rather have those discourses on dysfunction than exalt Black excellence, because they want to mutter in their mediocrity. That's how I feel. It's dead serious. But yeah, these catchers, this is something I gotta tell y'all ladies, like catchers typically a lot of times are very good looking. Okay. This is me being petty now. Okay. Catchers are very good looking men. All right. And I feel like we need to let these young girls know. So in my other live I did, Empty Nest Summer, I had talked about how one of the young ladies who we had sponsored and mentored all the way through Little League. She played with my oldest daughter. She continued. My oldest daughter did not. But, you know, she's playing on the NCAA level now, right? And talking to her mom, because it was like there's like these charity tournaments, whatever. And sometimes the kids will come back and play for the same charity that helped them through Little League, you know? And I was asking her mom, is she coming back? And her mom was like, oh, she has a boyfriend at school, so she may be coming back a little later. And I'm like, oh, soon as I saw her warm up, right? Because she was playing in the tournament. I came out to support, because I always do. I saw her warming up and I'm like, what position your boyfriend play? I already knew, because sometimes your mother's intuition be going off, even when it's not your kid, right? So I said, what position your boyfriend play? He goes, oh, he's a catcher. I knew it. I knew it because the pitcher and the catcher, and a lot of times these catchers be good looking. And I feel like we as older women, we need to warn these young women, like, look, you see the mask, you see the pads, but they sometimes be fine under there, and you got to watch out. Like Kevin Pilecki, that's another one. He is very handsome, like good smile, good attitude. Also married his college sweetheart. His collegiate sweetheart actually was a NCAA soccer player. Handsome Kevin Pilecki. I love Kevin Pilecki, right? James McCann. Oh my, ooh, dag on it. This dude's body is insane. Another catcher, good looking guy under that mask. And he's also nominated for this season's Roberto Clemente Award because of his community service outreach. So he's not only good looking and a good player, but he's actually good to other people. I mean, back in the day, we knew the catchers was good looking. You know, we had Buster Posey. You know, we knew these catchers was good looking. We had like Mike the Player Piazza. He had like that very charismatic personality. You know, we had Joe Mauer, Lord Joe Mauer. That dude was handsome. Joe was handsome too. Handsome up under that mask. And then, of course, so she told me her boyfriend is going to school to be a gym teacher, phys ed teacher, because he feels that his phys ed teacher, who is like his mentor, really had an impact on his life. And this guy, he's Dominican. He's like Afro-Latino. He's Black Dominican, right? The young lady I mentor, her boyfriend is. And he says he wants to be a gym teacher. And I was saying, like, well, has he ever considered physical therapy? So now that I'm back on Facebook, not as Mocha Mommy, but as myself, I'm back on Facebook. I did an Instagram. I did friend him. We did friend each other, right? And I've been sending him these little video clips of like pediatric physical therapists helping special needs kids, or physical therapists helping elderly people, or helping teenagers who've survived an accident walk again. And just sending him like these little, in that feminine way that we women do, to try to convince a man about something, just like dropping little hints, because the reality is he wants to be a gym teacher to help people the way his gym teacher helped him. So I'm just saying, because a lot of the classes, because I think he's a sophomore right now, going into junior year, or maybe going into his sophomore year now. I don't know exactly, but no, I think he's going into his third year of college. And I was saying, like, maybe you should think about being a physical therapist, right? A lot of the prereqs you need for being a gym teacher is already there. Physical therapy usually is a graduate program. You have 5 years of NCAA eligibility, so you can play for a fifth year and get all those classes and prereqs down, get a good GRE score, and blah, 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 and this is all over Instagram. We're communicating this. And he's like, I'll think about it. He goes to his gym teacher, and his gym teacher's like, yeah, do it, because it sucks being a gym teacher. Like, just the reality of what they do to teachers in his home state of Florida. He's like, yeah, just go for physical therapy. I think that's good advice. So I'm really hoping that this young man feels encouraged to still have that heart to help people, but to make good money while doing it. Because in reality, is like, look at my husband. He has a very successful career in IT, but he still coaches Little League, right? So it just goes to show you can pick a profession that makes a good living for yourself and still help people. He still plays in like a lot of the charity tournaments. Sometimes in charity tournaments, child, they be just as competitive as some of these games, but just letting you know, like, you can still make good money and still have a good impact on people. But so the Astros are playing the Yankees tonight, and I told you ladies in several of my videos, y'all need to be out there. Oh, good morning, Conscious Queen. How are you? But I'm just saying, like, you ladies really want to be out, because folks is out for this one. And it was funny, we watching it at the house, because one of my daughters is a Yankees fan, my youngest daughter. My oldest daughter is an Astros fan. She grew up loving the Astros, had her quinceañera. Actually, part of her quinceañera was at Minute Maid. And let me tell you, the Astros, they've been shutting these Yankees down. so far the series is 2-0. I mean, and it's funny because Yankees came to Minute Maid, but the Astros showed them that we got the juice. Astros, Justin Verlander, the first day, everybody talking about Aaron Judge and his home runs. Aaron Judge and his home runs. Let me tell you something. Justin Verlander shut that noise down, struck out 11 people in a row. 11 people in a row, honey. He was like, I'm a grown man. Silly rabbit tricks are for kids. He let them know that they came to play, and the Astros have won 2 games in a row. And it's funny because Alex Bregman had hit a 3-run homer. There were already 2 guys on base. He hits a home run, and that makes a 3-run homer. And I said Alex Bregman, he did that for Kanye West because Kanye West with all the anti-Semitism. So I said that was his way of getting back at Kanye West, because Kanye West has been known to like the Yankees. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to tell you, I got something for you. You want to go DEFCON 3 on people of this Abrahamic faith? We're going to go DEFCON 3 on your Yankees and score 3 runs. So boo. So I really think Alex Bregman's home run, he had a little bit of Kanye West in his bat, and he tore it up. So shout out to the Astros. They play again tonight. And my youngest daughter, she got I don't want to call it a date because she ain't calling it a date, but she's going to go watch it with Zach's family. Now, I don't know if I told y'all about Zach, okay? His name is not Zach, but the reason why I call him Zach is because he reminds me of Zach Greinke, because this little boy, he's a pitcher. Like my daughter, he was a freshman on the varsity team and a starter, okay? Extremely talented young man. Father played Major League Baseball, just like my daughter's father plays Major League Baseball. Comes from a ranching family. And of course, with these ranching families, they might be 4th, 5th generation ranching families, but their kids mostly live in the city, right? And he's one of the only few of the grandsons on the mom side who wants to actually go back into ranching, because a lot of the kids don't, So I get it. And like I said, a lot of baseball players do marry their high school sweethearts. But anyway, she's going to go watch it with Zach's family. The reason why I call him Zach is not just because he's a pitcher, not just because he's and also too, he's a little eccentric. I don't know if you ladies remember this, but Zach Greinke, he was the player who cussed out everybody in his locker room during COVID for not washing their hands after they come out the bathroom. And he's been known to ask the umpires for new balls if there's a player who handles the ball who he knows don't wash their hands. So Zach Greinke would flip out on people for that reason, because he's like, no, I'm not touching nothing nasty, okay? Also, too, this little boy, Zach, I call him Zach Greinke because they were on a winning streak. The high school team was on a winning streak. And he's one of the pitchers, right? He's one of the starting pitchers, even though he was very young at the time. The kids were like, oh, we're on a winning streak. Don't wash your uniform. And he was like, if you want to keep winning, you go to batting practice. You don't come here with dirty clothes. I don't understand the dirty clothes. So I just called him Zach Greinke. He's like, no, we're not walking around in dirty, smelly clothes. No, we're just going to go to batting practice. We're not going to do that. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. But yeah, I'm just saying, Zach, I call him Zach Greinke. So my daughter's going to be watching the game with his family. His family are Astros fans. She's a Yankees fan, but his family loves her. His family loves her. So, I mean, I like his family too. I like his mom. His mom is super sweet. She's getting a tummy tuck. She was telling me about it. And I'm like, ooh, that's something we got to talk about as Black women, how they always are what's the word? Fat shaming us, but they be getting stuff done. Folks be getting stuff done, but we don't do stuff like that. We be in the corner watching YouTube videos or get a $10 a month gym membership, trying to be doing it on the cheap. But these other women are spending thousands of dollars to look a certain way. I just didn't know when we going to get on board. Because, I put money into it, but, But anyway, just be sure to be out tonight. Watch some of these games. There's some handsome, charismatic players out there. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of really great, interesting people that you can meet when you go out, and you can still do it and be safe. I get it. We talk a lot about every 5.5 hours. I get it. And I get it. And I want us to be safe. But what I don't want us to do is not live our lives in fear. we should go out and have a good time. We have every right to have a good time. And there are hundreds and thousands, if not millions of people right now having a good time, watching the playoffs, enjoying themselves. And I want you ladies to do the same thing. Hey, and if you listen, there's some handsome, charismatic guys who play this sport, who watch this sport, who have played at one point in time, and they're out. And I know sometimes we'll get on these lies talking about this person and this person and how this. No, there are good men out there, ladies, and a lot of them are watching the playoffs. So seriously, just be out and have a good time. So I just wanted to encourage you ladies, check out True Mystique and her channel and do something for 30 minutes that brings you joy, but also do something that is fun and, and something that takes you out your comfort zone a little bit, because there's a lot of fun things out there. It doesn't have to be baseball, but I really do love this sport. And sometimes I could be a little bit petty at times, when it's other people's team and not my team, and I can talk smack and blah, 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 but it's all in good fun. And I just want to encourage you ladies to have some fun too. So you ladies have a good morning, and I'll see you in the next video.